Have you ever bet your entire life on something with no guarantee it works?
Shooting episode 2 with the boy Street.
We've got until January to make this brand real. Or go back to doing it on the side, back to the 9 to 5.
It's ice. One of those leads.
Welcome to episode 2 of Project Misogi. I like being awake when the world is still quiet. All you can hear is a bus somewhere, a few birds, no noise, no notifications, no one asking me anything. There's this window every morning, before the city wakes up, before my phone starts buzzing, before I have to be anyone for anyone, where it's just me and whatever's actually on my mind. Not the version of me thoughts I perform later, the real ones. That space disappears the second the day starts. So I've learned to protect it. Some mornings I don't even do anything with it. I just sit in it, let it exist. It's the only time I actually hear myself think. I've had this goal for a long time, building something real. A design studio, a label that actually means something, not just another brand with a logo and a launch date. I've tried, I've failed, then tried again. I don't think people talk enough about how many versions of an idea die before one actually survives. I've started this, in some form, more times than I'd like to admit. Different name, different angle, different excuse for why it didn't work. Some of it was timing, that's fair. A lot of it was me though. And if I'm honest, there are still days I catch myself looking at other artists. People further along, people who seem like they figured it out faster, and thinking, why can't I do that? Why aren't I there yet? What's changed is what I do with it once it shows up. See, when you fully commit to something, there's a lot of ego attached to it, whether it's subconscious or conscious. And through that ego, you can attach your self-worth and confidence to those outcomes. Today's just been one of those days where everything feels like it's not working. Just feel burnt out, tired. Now, a lot of the time this would cause me to just shut down, but I've become much more resilient at navigating these roller coasters of what success may look like to me. You see, in the past, I would go weeks or months without posting or trying or creating. And because I made this pact with myself to fully commit to something until we get to the end result. So on those days, I've learned to go back to the basics. I'm unwilling to give up again. But there's still those days where you just freeze up. Can't think of anything, can't create anything. Anything to get my mind out of this cycle. And that right there is how you overcome those days.
Alright, finished run 1. Did about 4 miles at a 8:35 pace. Back's still a little sore, so we're gonna go a little bit lighter. We still have a swim session, so let's get to it.
Look, as I mentioned last week, we had a product deadline, and let me tell you, we made it. And production is a tricky thing.
Shooting episode 2 with the boy Street. I got no mic, so this shit probably sound like buzz.
You can get pretty much anything wrong, and with a tight budget, it's likely you will. So, in order to prevent any type of mistakes, we have calibrated a system that will hopefully render no mistakes.
Yeah. Do you know how it determines a good lead? And what specifically, like, is it looking for something specific, meaning is one of these leads specifically looking for branding, or is it just like these are impressionable brands that have grown a certain capacity over the last couple of years or so?
So Tuesday's leads, I think it does put it in order. The one before, I don't think it did.
And that requires a lot of team meetings and a lot of focus from all of us. You see, when you're on a tight budget and a small brand, nobody knows you. And when nobody knows you, you have no leverage. And when you have no leverage, You have to force your way into the scene. And thus far, we decided we need to do a technical flat and we need to know what exact fabrics we need to request from the manufacturers. I can't tell you guys everything about the brand quite yet because I want to keep a lot of it anonymous until further notice. But I can tell you that it is going to be contemporary running and fashion brand. Obviously, you can tell by a lot of the content I post that that's kind of the direction we would lean to. And we're super excited. I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to kind of release a lot more information or let you guys know a lot more information as time goes on. I personally have been incredibly exhausted this week. It can be tricky to balance everything, but one thing I've kind of slowly learned over time, the earlier I get up and the earlier I can bang out a lot of the annoying tasks, the easier the rest of the day feels. There'll always be that crash midday where I don't feel like doing anything and I just get super tired, but I've tried to minimize carbs during my lunches to try to minimize that fatigue after lunch so I can try to maybe take an hour break and then jump back into working. Peep the new watch. We got the Garmin Fenix 6X Sapphire. I've been tracking my sleep and tracking all my runs and swims. I never used to track swims, and I just swim in our little pool at our apartment. It's only like 3 feet deep, so it's not like the ideal. But I can actually track my yardage. Hopefully that'll help me with prep, because we're still technically in the prep stage. Because of my lower back spine issue, I'm probably gonna have to deload on running for at least a week to try to see if that can relax a little bit. But yeah, so after we hit the swim session, that'll pretty much be a full day of work. I've lived in Los Angeles for almost 5 years now. I was raised in Salt Lake City, Utah. So this move was never small, it was a full reset. New city, no built-in support system, no version of me that anyone here already knew. I have a love-hate relationship with this city. Some days it feels like this is the only place this could have happened. Other days it feels like it's taking more than it's giving. But somewhere in the middle of the good and the bad, I became a different person here. How to design with more honesty. How to forgive. Myself, mostly. How to grow in ways that weren't comfortable at the time and only make sense looking back. And maybe most important, how to adapt. Because nothing here goes the way you plan it. You either bend or you break. Everything I make comes from somewhere. I carry a library of memories and feelings. When I sit down to design, that's what I'm actually pulling from. A conversation, a place, a feeling I couldn't name at the time but recognize now. Not trends, not what's working for someone else. That's the headspace I try to bring into every room with a team. The idea that what we're building should actually mean something to have made it. Not just look like it does. Now remember, you were built for more. I'll see you next week.